Welcome to a very special episode of Cosmic Road where we are joined by the one and only Jaime Maussan. Welcome to the show, Jaime.
Hello, Jack. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's an honor to talk to you. I have been talking about the mummies since the hearing, the Mexican hearing, and I have probably made more videos devoted to the Nazca mummies than anybody in the English speaking language probably combined. I think what you are doing is so important. The biggest scientific discovery of all time, maybe UFO disclosure itself. So just thank you for doing all you're doing.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for doing what you are doing, Jack.
Is it true that you've put over $1 million into the research on the Nazca mummies?
Yeah. Well, not just the research. I mean, obtaining all the evidence and also the legal lawsuit that I am doing against the Ministry of Peru, the Ministry of Culture of Peru.
How's that
And
going?
everything together is close to $1 million. Yes.
So far, the results, the court results have been favorable for your suit, right?
Yes. Yes. So far, so good. We are starting the last part of that lawsuit this week. And I think before 4 months, we're going to have probably a negotiation or probably the verdict from the court. And I think it's going to be positive because the Minister of Culture has not presented anything. I mean, they have not done any investigation. What they have done is something that is very, very far from the scientific research. They used one small body in the first part in 2017 that was presented to them, and they never said where this body came from. They never said how old it is. They never did any carbon-14 test. They never did any DNA analysis. All they did was to say that this was a fake because it was assembled, which was true, but it didn't have anything to do with the bodies that we were presenting. And for them was so easy to say, oh, because we found this, everything else is fake. You know what I mean?
I know exactly
It's
what you mean.
amazing. It's amazing.
Now, do you think they legitimately believe that there's nothing there, or are they being completely disingenuous? And are they, part of some sort of orchestrated cover-up?
No,
Or do you
they.
want
I
to comment on
think.
that?
Well, let me tell you. From the very first day, the anthropologists from Peru and the archaeologists from Peru wrote a letter after Gaia.com presented the first video, saying that the case was a fake without doing an investigation. They just said they don't want this to be. You know what I mean? The archaeologists are against this because this breaks all the rules, breaks all the findings, all the history that they proclaim. I mean, it changes everything for them, and they didn't want that. You know, and that is why I think from the very beginning they said they wanted to be this a fake. And now they got involved and more, and now they are in a deep hole, my friend. They are because they don't have anything, because they have not analyzed, because they didn't want to. They didn't want to give any importance to this finding. They never went to the University of Ica. They never did all the things that they should have done, and that's the problem for them.
What do you think would happen if they were in charge of one of the sites, or, well, how many sites are there where the bodies were found?
I don't know, but I think one. I think one, but I don't know because this man, Mario or Leandro Benedicto Rivera, his real name, is not clear. He changes what he says all the time, and that's very unfortunate. Probably it's one side or probably two sides. I don't think no more than that. When he found them, then he hides them in the middle of the desert, and they stay there until they find something better for these bodies or for these heads or whatever he has. And there is so much more. I've seen at least 7 different species, my friend. 7.
That's amazing.
So far, I know 3. I mean, I have the possession of 3 of them, but I saw 7. Some of them had like a fin in the head. Others had differences, and there are some that still are there that probably I'm trying to find, because I think my duty is to save these bodies and evidences for the people of Peru, because I don't trust the Ministry of Culture. I think they want to destroy them or disappear them, and I cannot let them to have this. They should have it. I mean, if they were honest and they wanted to investigate them, I would be very happy to give it to them. But I'm not sure what they want to do with them, you know?
What
Their
do you think?
attitude so far has been very untrustable.
What do you think would happen if they were in charge of the site?
They would take control of everything. They would cover everything. They would try to take all the bodies, hide the bodies, don't do anything to them, saying that they found that everything was a fake, and not to give any importance to the case, and try to destroy it. That's what I think they would do.
Yeah, that sounds all too likely based on their behavior so far. Okay, but I've got to ask about the creature with the fin. What can you tell us about the creature with the fin-like structure on its head, and will we get to see it?
I don't know. I don't know who has it. All I saw was some pictures, and but I think I have a copy. Someday I will release them to force Mario to tell us where they are, who has them, and I think all the bodies should be recuperated for the people of Peru. I think all the bodies should go to a museum. I think the government of Peru has a duty to find all these pieces and build a museum for them and keep them there, because it would be the most incredible thing. And I think the people from Nazca and Papa would benefit from that. I mean, they would make a lot of money, and this is very poor people. This is a very poor area. And if they have a museum like this, everything would change. Why they don't want to do that? Why the government of Peru doesn't realize how important is this? You know, you have the warriors cave in China. Hundreds of thousands of millions of people go there to see them, and they are just statues of clay. In this case, they are real creatures. You know, they would be a sensation around the world.
That would be a heck of a museum, Jaime. That would be amazing. I
It's
think
gonna be.
everybody would want to
It's
go take a
gonna
look
be.
at that.
It's gonna be, because, as you know, I sued the Ministry of Culture of Peru for $300 million. It's because I want to make money? No, I want to take my money back, whatever I spent. But other than that, I want to build this museum. I want to preserve the bodies. I want to find the bodies, and also to continue the investigation. I want these bodies to be taken to the U.S. I mean, you have so many people saying very stupid things. You know, like this man from Ohio, the professor from philosophy, Stephen Brown, I think he is, saying so many stupid things. You know what I mean? He doesn't know. He's coming. He's late in the show, and he wants now to give his opinion and try to discredit these bodies. Why don't we wait until they are analyzed in the best universities of the U.S.? Because when that is possible, when the government of Peru opens the borders for these bodies to be transported from Peru to United States, everybody is going to want to do the investigation. I have to tell you that the director I asked to be the director is John McDowell. John McDowell is the one who decides where the bodies are going to go, who's going to participate or not, because when the time comes, I think everybody's going to want to participate because this is so incredible, my friend. And they are real. I tell you, I put my hand on fire. You know, uh, if people can think that a journalist like myself would take these bodies to the Congress of Mexico if they were not real, I mean, I would be in jail. The congressman would put me in jail. What do you think? Don't you think I can make fun of them and take fakes, you know, how you say, toys or whatever you want to call them, to the maximum place in Mexico, the most prestigious place, the Congress of Mexico? No, no, no. My whole career would be destroyed. My life would be destroyed. Okay, and that's how it is. But people, it's so easy for people to say, "Oh, they are fakes" and so on, you know. And oh, Jaime Maussan is a hoaxer. He's a recognized hoaxer. When? How? Prove it to me. Okay, they talk about the picture that I presented in 2015 in the Auditorium of Mexico that was taken in a museum, I think I don't remember well, I think Colorado or Arizona, by this woman, and that there was a plate in front of the body that the plate said, this is a body from a 2-year-old and so on, found by Palmer and so on. Okay, I found the real picture from Palmer. Have you seen it? From 1896, when the body was found, I think was in Mesa, Colorado. I don't remember well, but I think it was. And the body is completely different. Completely doesn't have anything to do with that. No, but for them was a hoax, and I did it. Okay. And I think it's so unfair. People are so unfair to me. Why I am controversial? The reason I am controversial is because I present things, because I have the courage to present things. And that's why I am controversial. I am not controversial. I'm a journalist. I have won 3 times the National Award on Journalism in Mexico. I was director of 60 Minutes in Mexico. I've been recognized by the United Nations. I've been recognized by different organizations of journalists around the world, you know. And now they say I made hoaxes. That's very unfair, my friend. And okay, next time somebody says, "Oh, Jaime Maussan is a hoaxer," ask him why, when, how. Okay, they have to prove it, not just like saying, "Oh, it's a hoaxer." No, 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 no. Prove it. Prove it. Where are the evidences that he has hoaxed anything? I have not. I never lie, my friend Jack. I never, ever, ever lie. It's difficult for a person. I do. I am that way. Okay. Sometimes, if you don't ask me, I don't say. Especially if it's regarding to other people. You know, I don't want to create problems. But if it's up to me, or if you are asking me anything, I will tell you the truth because I don't know how to lie. But they say, "Oh, he's a hoaxer. He lies," and so on, without any proof.
Well, I love that. That's a great point. I love how you said that if you had brought the bodies to the Mexican Congress and they were fake, that probably wouldn't have gone over very well. So, yeah,
Think
good,
about
good,
it.
good point.
Think
Good point.
about it.
But let me ask you, because you mentioned John McDowell. What is he doing now? Is he going to continue his research into the Nazca mummies?
Absolutely, absolutely. He's waiting. I am not authorized to say all the negotiations he is conducting right now. He will tell you. You want to talk to him, but we are not. How can I say? Quiet. We are moving. We are doing things. Okay, and I'm moving with the lawsuit. And this lawsuit, it's very important because it's going to be the key to open the doors, because they will have to negotiate. There is no other way, unless they want to pay me $300 million. If they want to do that and they don't want to negotiate, okay, I take the money and run. You know what I mean?
Get him,
But
Jaime.
that's not what I want to do. Okay.
Well, I hope you're able to build this museum or help in that way. That'd be amazing. Get the truth of these bodies out there. Now, you said,
It's our responsibility, Jack. It's the responsibility of this generation. I had the luck to find this, you know. The one who really found it was Mario. Mario went to Tierra Yamin. Tierra Yamin went to me. I went to many scientists, okay, but I consider this my responsibility. I cannot let it go. I cannot let them get away with it, you know. They don't want this case to be real. Okay, well, I think it's my responsibility to make it real. That's what it is. Period.
well, I really applaud you for doing that. I think you are going to change the world. You and Thierry and Mario and everybody else directly responsible. Joyce, everybody that, Dr. John McDowell, everybody is doing really important work. Now, you said there were 7 different specimens. Have 7 different types? Have 7 different types been shown to the public? I don't think we've
No,
seen the
just
guy with the
three.
thin head.
Just three. One of them, I tell you, is a giant.
Okay,
Until
tell
I
me about
have
the
the
giant,
evidence, I
Jaime.
don't
Tell
want
me
to
about
talk
the
about
giant.
it. You know about it?
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I want you to tell me about it.
Okay. Well, I've seen the head. I've seen the head, and it's. And I asked Mario, "Is this real?" And he said, "Yeah, it's real. It's real." Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. It looks like a piñata. It's real, my friend. It has bone inside. There's a skull inside. Well, if it is, who is going to prove that it's fake? You know what? I say this is the most important because it's so irrefutable. Like also the Fetus inside Montserrat is also irrefutable. It's a three-finger Fetus.
Yeah.
You know.
You can't fake that.
Uh, hmm?
You can't fake that.
No, absolutely not. And it seems that one of the bodies that we just found is also pregnant. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. Somebody told me that it looks like we don't have tests because we don't want to move. The bodies are not in my possession. I want to tell you, they are not in my possession. They are in the possession of somebody else. There is a chain of people to be able to make it very, very safe. Okay, it would be impossible for anyone to try to find them. That's the way it should be. Okay.
Yeah, keep them safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're safe. They will come into the open when the conditions are fair.
Okay, sounds good. Now, okay, so has it been definitively confirmed that Raphael, the tridactyl or the seemingly tridactyl fetus inside of Montserrat, has it been confirmed definitively that the Raphael is tridactyl?
I wouldn't say definitive. It's not definitive. It's an appreciation of different scientists, but this has to be done with better equipment and different angles. And if you ask me, I think it's a tridactyl. Yes, I think it is. What I've seen looks to me it is, but it still has to be confirmed by John McDowell and others. O'Connor probably. I think O'Connor thinks it's a tridactyl. That's very good. And now we need to. The thing is this: nobody should speak about these bodies anymore until they are brought to a university and the analyses are done there. You know, if you ask me why that has not been done, because many people say, "Why, Jaime? Why didn't you take it to the American university or the European universities? Why you didn't do that?" Because I can't. Because the government of Peru has agreements with the U.S. and with the UN and with many countries in Europe that it is not possible to bring bodies out of Peru. Nothing like you say, oh, they are ETs. Yeah, well, it's a body, and they are considered that to be illegal. And the problem is not that it's illegal. Not a single university would make any investigation to them. Any scientist would get involved in that. Then don't ask me why I haven't done it. Why the universities don't accept these bodies, why they don't accept to do investigation. because it would not be legal. And that's a very important word. Everything has to be legal. Okay? I haven't taken anybody out of Peru. Not one. Not one. The one that I presented in Mexico were taken by somebody else, not me. Okay? Because I think the bodies, we're very lucky that somebody else did it in Mexico, because if I wouldn't have gone to the Congress and present the bodies, we wouldn't be here talking about this. Okay? Then it's important sometimes, probably, and I can tell you something else. It was not illegal because they were brought into Mexico in a legal way. There are papers and there is everything. Right now that they attract so much attention, probably they will say that it's not legal, but at the moment, the man who brought them here did it with all the legal stuff that he could. Okay? Then something, I don't know if that has changed or not, but I'm sure that he would be willing to take these bodies back to Peru when the time comes, like it should. Everybody who has these bodies in Russia, Spain, Brazil, and other places, Mexico, to take these bodies back to Peru when the time comes. It's not fair to keep these bodies outside of Peru. They have to go back and they have to go to a museum, okay? Because it's not right to have bodies. We're not talking about objects. We're talking about organic creatures that were alive in Peru and they die in Peru and they need to be back. That I consider that very, very important, my friend.
Okay, now we're talking about legalities, and I know that you're in Tennessee right now on vacation. There was a recent photo of you with Representative Tim Burchett. Have y'all talked about the bodies at all?
No, we were going to meet today. Unfortunately, he had to leave to the Republican Congress or whatever they
Yeah,
have in Milwaukee.
there's a big thing going on. Yeah.
And that's why at the very last moment, I went there. I went to his office this morning, and but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna talk to them, and probably for next week or the next 2 weeks. I have prepared everything, all the evidence, and I will ask him to send this evidence to be analyzed, probably at the University of Tennessee. That is such a good university, and when he is convinced that these creatures are real, to ask the government of Peru to allow them to be taken out of Peru, or bring them to the Congress in the US. Why not? Present them as I did in Mexico. Once he is convinced and the scientists are convinced, without saying if they are ETs or not, but they are convinced that they are organic, that should happen. Okay?
It sounds good. Okay, so what do you think it all means? Well, we have so many different types of bodies, all found in the same area, different sizes, different
The only
anatomies, different
coincidence,
reproductive
Jack, the
cycles.
only coincidence, all of them are tridactyl. The 7 species are tridactyl. I cannot explain that.
Yeah.
It means that they came together. For me, if you ask me, do you think they are? For me, are ETs. No question about it. Why? Because of the metal, the analysis that was presented by the National University of Engineering in Peru says that they have osmium, they have many different metals, rare metals. It means they came from somewhere else, because the osmium was found on Earth 200 years ago. 200 years ago. And other things that have the bodies, like what is this? What is the cadmium chloride? Cadmium chloride, I think it is, that was put in the body before the diatomia Earth. That was not developed on Earth until very recently, because you need special chemicals to do it.
Yeah, for sure. These beings were advanced. Yeah.
These creatures were advanced and they were preserved for a reason. Whoever did it knew that their bodies were going to be preserved for 2,000 years or so. And now we have them in our hands, and they are very well preserved, and it's a real evidence, something that cannot be disclaimed easily. And I knew that from the beginning. After I presented this photograph in the Auditorium of Mexico, I learned that it's very difficult to defend a picture, a photograph. It's very difficult. They destroy you. You know what I mean? And then I knew that next time I do something like this, would be with physical bodies, and the physical evidence, unless you destroy it, is there to be investigated. And this is the case. The case now has to be investigated, and I know that when that happens, everybody in the world is going to be surprised, and then we will want to find what's the origin of these creatures, of all these tridactyls, so many tridactyls, and try to find them, preserve them, and build a museum for the future. That's what it is, my friend.
So is John McDowell or others going to study the giant head?
When it comes into the open, yes, of course.
Well, when is that going
I
to
don't
happen?
have anything to hide, Jack. I don't have anything to hide. I don't want to. I don't want to make a hoax out of this. I don't want to. Why? Why? I'm making very good money, and not with this. With my personal businesses, I have developed health products that are saving the lives of people. Thousands of lives are being saved thanks to my scientific theme. You know, and we are making good money. I'm gonna have a television channel, and I mean a real one to compete with the big ones in Mexico.
Nice.
24/7, and that's going to give me the chance to present so many more things. And if I am doing that, why should I want to make money out of this? And then, oh, Maussan is making millions out of this. Really? Where? How? How? You spend money here and there and everywhere. You know, it's it's very expensive to do this.
Okay, but what about
Anybody
the
who
giant?
says
What
that
about
I'm
the
making
giant?
money is a very stupid person. Excuse
But
me.
what about the giant? Are we ever going to see pictures of the giant or analysis of the giant?
Yeah, the time will come, my friend. The time will come. The time
Okay.
will come. I promise you.
Will that
I
be
want to do it. I want to
2024?
do it, but not before time. Not before time.
Do you think
Okay.
that'll be 2024, 2025? Can you give us a
As soon as the government of Peru agrees to allow them to be taken out of the country, I'll do it immediately.
so you don't want to have it done by the people that have done it before in Peru? Is that correct?
Yes, I want this to be international right now,
Okay.
because it's the way it should be. If I present it just in Peru, just with the scientists in Peru or Mexico, it's not going to work. Now we need to go and do something international. Probably England, probably United States, or both. There are 7 humanoid bodies. Probably one of them could go to a different place, you know?
Now, when you say
And
humanoid, do you mean the human size ones, like Maria,
yeah,
Montserrat?
with the 3 fingers, similar to Maria and Montserrat, Santiago and Sebastian, and Rafael, the small one, the Fetus.
And do you
And
think
there are
you'll
2 more. And there are 2 more.
and you think those will be able to go out to international labs?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as I told you, there are 2 ways to the government of Peru and Ministry of Culture. They either pay me $300 million, or they negotiate. You know, and if they negotiate, would be better for me, because that's what I want. I don't want the money. I don't care about the money. I'm 71 years old. I don't care about money anymore. You know, I have enough. Uh, what I really want is to be able to preserve this and save this for the future of our kids.
I think that is so important. I love what you're doing. I do think this is probably the biggest scientific discovery of all time. And yeah, I can't support you enough in what you're doing, man. Okay, so what about some of the wilder stories and claims that have come out of this? Like there is pictures and video of a pyramid-like structure found in the tomb or the site. Is that
Which
real?
one? What?
There was a pictures and video of a pyramid-like structure found
Urinate? I don't know what
pyramid,
it
like the
is.
Great Pyramids of Egypt.
Oh no, it's not true.
Okay, okay. You tell us about that. Who's
No, no,
putting
no,
that out?
just a cave. It's a diatomea earth cave. That's all. That's all. Nothing inside, just bodies and some objects. I've seen pictures of the objects, but I have not seen anything else. Okay, there are so many lies, and many of them were produced by Mario. Mario was, he said so many lies to us. Oh, that they were in a coffin, they were inside a special place inside a pyramid. It's not true. Nothing of that is true. The truth is that they were inside the Atomia Earth cave, inside this compound. The Diatomea Earth is an algae, 17 million years old, and that's it's been used to preserve things, and it was used to preserve the bodies. And I don't know how they know, but they knew, and they put this other substance in the body and both together preserve the bodies because they have all the stomach, all the things inside, which is a jewel because they will be able to analyze everything inside the bodies.
Okay, now paleontologist Cliff Miles, who apparently was able to examine the bodies, came away with the impression that they were deliberately mummified. Do you think they were deliberately mummified, or are
Yes,
they just
absolutely.
naturally mummified?
No, 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 no. They were deliberately. They were taken there. The place is in the top of a mountain. Okay, the place is there, and you can go and see it. Okay, my family just came, my friend. I
Do you
think
need to go? I know y'all
yes, I
are
need to
gonna have some
go,
dinner
but if
soon.
you want to continue tomorrow, we can. And you
Okay.
think more questions then, okay?
I've got 1,000 questions. All right. Well, you just go have a great dinner. And thank you so much for joining me, Jaime. I love it. And have a
Thank you,
good
my friend.
vacation.
Thank you, Jack.